Hello and welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. My name is Chris Au and I'll be your host for today's show, which is really exciting because I will be interviewing the people of the Bella Music Foundation for the Blind. Namely, we will have the CEO Mira Kim, Conductor Helen H, Cha-Pyo, and Concertmaster Khullip Jeung joining us for a really exciting interview. We'll be discussing how the Bella Music Foundation for the Blind was started, the concerts, concerto competitions, their winners as well, which will be announced, as well as their experience with very talented blind musicians. This is a really exciting interview that I get to undertake, and I'm really excited for you to be a part of it today as well. So I'm sure we'll be really inspired by the incredible work that they do. They are not only based in the US, but they tour all around the world, and this is a wonderful way to see how musicians and professionals within the industry are thriving. And all of this is to serve musicians and music lovers out there by providing inspiration from one of the greatest people we know in the industry doing amazing work, and it is because it is our passion to be connecting musicians and audiences in real-time musical performances and live programs from around the globe. Hello and welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. You're joining us now. This is a really exciting show because I have the privilege of interviewing the Bella Music Foundation and its incredible members who form it, from the conductor Helen H, Cha-Pyo, the concertmaster Khullip Jeung, as well as the CEO Mira Kim, who all three of them are just incredible musicians as well as administrators, people who really participate in the music industry and make it work. This season at Virtual Concert Hall and Sound Espressivo and progressive musicians, we have such an incredible array of shows, and this is just the beginning. We have lined up in the future not only amazing orchestral performances and soloists, but also opportunities to perform in Carnegie Hall and much more around the world. We are expanding. We are a company that's built out from the pandemic, and yet we've soared to try to combine an online and in-person experience for everybody, as well as providing value. But first, let's take a quick look at what we have in store for this coming season. So what's really amazing about our upcoming season is that not only will you get to hear incredible music, but we also have the opportunity to interview, thanks to this online platform, a lot of the people who are behind the scenes. As you'll see from our interviews and our shows, which are on every day, we have shows every day that feature certain organizations, feature certain musicians, as well as feature the people behind the scenes making all this happen. We have had conversations with artist managers, from promoters, from people who record online masterclasses, organizations that really make this whole thing so fruitful for everybody involved in the industry, as well as music lovers and audiences who are inspired by what these musicians do. And speaking of inspiring, I want to introduce to everybody our guests for today, who namely are the CEO of Bella Music Foundation, Mira Kim, conductor Helen H, Cha-Pyo, and concertmaster Khullip Jeung. And this is such a privilege because they are not only amazing musicians, and we'll bring them on stage one by one, but they are also just incredible administrators and people who are really involved in making lives better for people, and especially for people who are blind or visually impaired. And so let's put into the show, everybody. We have Helen H. Cha-Pyo on the left, who is an artistic director and principal conductor of the Wharton Institute for the Performing Arts in New Jersey, leading 4 programs serving nearly 2,000 students. She is so involved in many parts of music education. She has been trained with a background in organ performance, conducting from renowned institutions. She actively engages in guest conducting, teaching roles across the country. Cha-Pyo also serves on boards and committees advocating for youth orchestras, music education, showcasing her dedication to enriching communities through music. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for joining us, Helen.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, it's a real privilege. Next up, we have Khullip Jeung, who's an incredible, well-renowned violinist who began his musical journey at the age of 5 in South Korea before moving to Hawaii, made his solo debut with the Honolulu Symphony at age 9, and he later moved to New York to study at Juilliard Pre-College with Dorothy DeLay, who is a renowned violin pedagogue, earning bachelor's and master's degrees under various scholarships. As an educator, he teaches at the esteemed institutions like the Juilliard Pre-College as well as the Mannes College of Music, and has served as a visiting professor at UMass Amherst. Currently, he is the concertmaster of Classical Notes Philharmonic, a founding member of the Benisori Quartet, and founder of 4 Strings Music Festivals in New York. Welcome to the show, Khullip. It's so awesome to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, nice to meet you all.
And last but definitely not least, we have the CEO of Bella Music Foundation, Mira Kim, who's a wonderful pianist, soloist, chamber musician, a Steinway teacher and educational partner. Mira, you won the first prize at the Sekwang piano competition at the age of 7, and you have graduated with honors from Chugi University for the Arts in Seoul, Korea, earned an artist diploma in piano performance from the University of Northern Iowa, and have served many different assistantships. You earned your Master of Music degree in piano performance from Manhattan School of Music, a renowned music school in the US, and you've performed all over the world, United States, Canada, Argentina, Mexico, South Korea, and many renowned concert venues. You are also the CEO of Bella Music Foundation, which we'll talk about. But first of all, welcome to the show, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. So Mira, this is a foundation you're very passionate about. Can you tell us a little bit about this organization, the Bella Music Foundation for Blind Musicians, and how it started off?
Yeah, one day I was praying and felt a calling to support talented blind musicians in classical music. It was very sudden and something I have never never thought about before. But looking back, I think my only other encounter with blind musicians before starting BMF was a community service event when I was in middle school. A student from a blind school played a familiar hymn on the piano, and it deeply moved me. So I was thinking, about what I could start with, and then decide to found a music foundation for the blind, and so I can meet other people who can support us too.
Wow, that's really
Yeah.
inspiring. And how long has this organization been around for? When did you start this? And
We started this organization in 2018. Yeah.
2018.
Yeah.
Wow, and you've grown so much. I know we will talk a lot more about where you will be performing and everything. How has this journey been? How are you finding blind musicians? Is it through these kind of auditions? How are you getting in touch with them? Do you usually talk to their parents? How does it all work?
Actually, we found, we found this organization, and we started, doing some love concerts
Mm,
because we visited, some blind music schools
mm,
or blind schools for, free concert to
mm,
just, have them, explore to classical music. And then we found it, we hold actually two music competition for blind musicians because they're very talented, and we wanted to give some scholarships. And then we were just thinking
mm,
maybe it, as a musician myself, we
mm,
believe that it would be more beneficial for
mm-hmm.
their career if they were to win a competition and receive a scholarship and perform in New York City as prize. So
Yeah.
this is why we established the music competition and concerto competition, such thing. And we met a lot of very talented blind musicians all over the world. actually.
That's amazing. And I guess the online world being expanding and being able to receive these sort of auditions all over the world, that's really grown, right? Really
Yeah,
grown your organization.
yeah.
And I know that we'll talk about this later, but you're also going to be performing all over the world, and France
Hmm.
is a part of this idea as well. And
Yeah,
this is just so cool. This is really
yeah.
amazing. What is the audience like for these concerts? Do you find a lot of people wanting, just being really inspired and moved by these musicians?
Yeah, of course. We've been building our concert series, so we do have some audiences we already know. So they do know, there are many talented blind musicians.
Hmm.
So that's been, our audiences, and also we're on Facebook, Instagram, for such, social media. So we do have, some audiences. Of course, in our, Bergen County, um, we do have other, audiences as well. Yeah,
Oh, amazing. I
yeah.
want to divert out and ask Helen a question. You're a conductor. How long have you been working with blind musicians? How long have you been doing this? And yeah.
It hasn't been that long at all. And I met Mira a few years ago,
Okay.
and she has been a source of inspiration from day one. It's incredible what this organization is doing. We are really, through the pandemic time, musicians are constantly looking for equity in opportunities among, underrepresented kind of group of musicians. And it didn't really occur to me that visually impaired musicians or blind musicians, how do we support them? And,
Mm.
their talent is equal to sighted people. But the fact that the world is just so primarily filled with sighted people that we lose, no pun intended, lose sight of the
Yeah.
fact that there are a whole bunch of incredibly talented musicians. So creating that access and opportunity, and to be able to showcase them, where, without a foundation such as BMF, I think it's really difficult as a young or, even seasoned blind musician to find that opportunity. So
Wow.
I feel very blessed to know Mira and BMF, and to have been included in this team of incredible artists and orchestral members whose
Wow.
heart is just really to cheer our wonderfully talented blind musicians and create that space
I
on the
love
world
that.
stage for them.
I
So
love that. I just have I have a question, two questions for you, Ellen. What is it like when you listen to these blind musicians perform and you have to also conduct? And also, what is it like to work with these musicians? And it might be a little bit different because there's a little bit. I imagine it'll be different rehearsing. But what is the experience like for you as a conductor working with these musicians and their music making and the way they make music?
so in some ways it's the same. In some ways it's very different.
Mm,
So I think the goal of achieving that perfect unity with a soloist, um, because I always talk about audience members listen with their ears as well as eyes.
mm,
And chamber musicians, like Khullip and Mira, they know that half of the communication is through sight. So
absolutely,
we
yeah.
really rely on that. Now, it's kind of like I fall in love with the soloist one way because I can see their
Mm,
beautiful music making. I'm looking at their bow speed as
mm.
if there is no tomorrow, just so that we can end it together. When in other occasions, I might just be, really relying on my ears.
Mm,
So I felt like, as a conductor on the podium, um, between the orchestra members and the soloist, I'm constantly being that bridge to
mm.
say, okay, look at my stick here, because I'm looking at the soloist. So
Yeah,
form of communication is different, but ultimately, I think the goal and music making is our desire to be at the highest level. There is no, a kind of handicap, like, oh, that's
wow.
good enough because. I think that's what's really the same, no matter what. Yeah.
That's so moving. I really love your answer to that. That's just so really touching for me to know that in spite of these, impairments that these people have, the love they have for music, the passion they have, and the ability to express themselves is just as good, if not sometimes more, because that's their world. That's all they
I
know
think it's
sometimes.
better. I think their ears are incredibly developed. So,
Wow.
because of that heightened development
Mm.
of the hearing, that I really felt like, oh my gosh, I got to step up my game here, right?
Yeah.
Because they can hear the intonation of the orchestra probably even clearer than some of the sighted musicians, because that's what they're being
Ah,
developed. So
I see.
so it's I kind of really feel that we have to step up the game so much more. Yeah.
I love that. I'm going to turn the attention to Khullip. How long have you been involved with the BMF and being concertmaster, and what is it like for you as a concertmaster? You're probably watching Helen stick very intently, but also the solos is probably right next to you too, so you're feeding off that. It's sort of a triangle of sorts. What is experience like for you?
Yes. So first off, I think I'm the newest member of the team here,
Okay.
and when I was approached by Mira, um, and she mentioned that Helen was going to be the conductor and music director, I was like, okay, I am in.
And that's very vice versa. It's like,
Very
unless it's
mutual. I
good,
love
I'm
that.
not sure if I can do this.
Yeah, so it's a fairly new project for me, and this is something very new as well for me because usually most of the work that I've done is with sighted people.
Mhm.
And I went to their performance in New York City, where Helen was conducting with members of the New Jersey Youth Symphony. And I was just blown away, amazed at everyone, the soloists, Helen, the
Mm.
organization.
Mhm.
And I was just, okay, when they talked to me, when Mira approached me, I was like, I didn't have to even think much. I was like,
Mhm.
I am going to be part of this. I'm going to make this also very special and be part of the vision. And so I'm glad that I am. Thank you for approaching me.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I love that. Thank you, Khullip. So I want to bring the attention to Mira to talk about this competition. We have some clips which we're about to play, but I would love for you to talk to us a little bit about what this competition entails, what the prizes may be, and how did it start. You have the music competition as well as a concerto competition, and you also have a festival series. So tell us a little bit about the different parts of what
Mhm.
makes BMF and the opportunities you offer.
Yeah, as I mentioned before, we
Mm.
made this competition to offer them some scholarships, but
Mhm.
also more experience for their resume, more
Of course.
resume. So since that music competition for the blind is um, open only to those under 30, we
Mm.
felt that it would be great to have another one for anyone over 30. So
Oh.
when we had the idea of creating the BMF Symphony Orchestra, we introduced a concerto competition for blind musicians over 31 alongside the previous winners from the BMF music competition.
Wow.
So for the music competition, we give them total 10,000
Yeah,
dollars
that's
for cash
amazing.
prize, and then also from Dancing Dots, we got donations for this software program,
Cool.
which
Wow.
really helps blind musicians to be able to read that music and listen to that
Yeah.
music from that PDF file to this Braille software.
Wow.
So I think that really we're very thankful to Dancing Dots to
Mm.
donate this great programs for these blind musicians. Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. I love that. So
Mhm.
we're gonna take a little tiny break and play some music and play some
Yeah.
introductions. And
Mhm.
so thank you once again, and we'll be right back.
Okay.
Fortunately unable to continue our concert series throughout the pandemic, generous donations from our sponsors, Dancing Dots, and a grant from the Northern New Jersey Community Foundation gave us the push we needed to make the BMF International Music Competition for the Blind a reality. The competition was a great success, and we received applications from talented musicians all over the world.
Wow. That's amazing. So you're right, Helen. You really have to step up because they sound incredible.
I'm telling you, really, it's the case. And, Khullip mentioned about New Jersey Youth Symphony members playing with three blind musicians last year, and they all came away saying, wow, what have I been doing? It was a moment of inspiration for them. So the blind musicians, just really inspiring the next generation of musicians to step it up. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, there must be something about not having sight that really forces one to listen so intensely. And so because of that, you have an impact on other people because of your expressivity is not, I guess, it's just so focused. There's such a focus in the way that they are listening. I'm just awestruck. It's beautiful music.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So I want to just ask, well, there's Mira, for you, you've started this kind of competitions in 2020, you started the Music Foundation in 2018. What's motivating you to keep going, and what are some of the moving moments for you? What has touched you and made you feel, I really want to keep doing this no matter what?
Mhm. Yeah, we've pursued our mission for almost 60 years now, and then we've
Okay.
met numerous blind musicians from around the world. But we've discovered, that many talented blind musicians are struggling to continue their careers because they don't have resources or opportunities to showcase their talent. So our goal is to become a reliable source for these blind musicians. And I think, seeing them succeed is my biggest motivation to continue this
Yeah.
work. Yeah.
Wow, I love that. And I want to talk a little bit about the Hanbit Trio as well. And I know, Helen, you have been involved with that. And could you tell us about what that experience has been like? And what is the Hanbit Trio? Is it and Hanbit Trio J? Sorry, I think. And what is that like? What is that experience for you? And what makes it a very rewarding experience?
Right. I think the fact that they're a trio makes them kind of more available and flexible, to
Okay.
be on the stage, because they can play their own chamber music, but also they can play repertoires, just like, what they did, Beethoven Piano Trio, with the
Wow.
full orchestra. So I think, having just one soloist versus having a chamber group is really versatile, because they can go to a smaller location of very private chamber concerts to inspire people, as well as big stages. So I think it was a
Okay.
brilliant idea to form that.
And so just to confirm for me, the Hanbit Trio J, they're all three blind musicians playing together, is that right?
Yes,
Wow.
true.
I wonder what the rehearsals are like. That must be so fascinating.
When I had a piano rehearsal with them prior to the orchestral rehearsal, and
Yeah.
I kind of observed how they were communicating, and it was really no different. It's like, can we slow down here a little bit more? Sure, I'm changing that one penultimate note, and give me a little bit more space before we resolve that. So
Oh.
there really wasn't anything different. And I think sighted people like ourselves, we are fascinated, how they can do this at this highest level.
Yeah.
But what I come away from it is, why not?
Yeah.
It is the world that we live in. We're lazy. I think the sighted people
Yeah.
just become lazy, and we rely on other sensory, where if one was taken away from us, but if that was how you were born into this world, that's your world, and they have
Yeah.
completely maximized that.
I find it so beautiful to see because when I'm thinking about it, I guess sighted people can get distracted a lot easier.
Oh, yeah.
Like when you're performing, you're like, oh, I wonder who was in the audience, and you look and see who's in the audience, or you might like, oh, the page turn didn't work, or you're like, oh, is my pedal right, and all these little things as a pianist, or is my hair in the way, like all these other things that because of the because we're such visual people, we get distracted, but for them it's this world that's so much more focused in comparison, I find. And
Well,
it must
how
be,
many
yeah.
sighted musicians in Khullip, when you play solo, how many times do you close your eyes? A lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
I mean, there we go. We just made a point.
Yeah.
And those are
Because
the
we
moments
need-
where you're so just in the zone, perhaps,
Yeah.
Yes.
that you don't need that extra sense. You just decide, I'm just gonna go for it or something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, my old piano teacher used to tell me, turn off all the lights in the room and make it pitch dark and practice. I remember that this was when I was like, I don't know, 10 years old. I'm like, why? Because you have to know exactly where to jump to.
Mhm.
You need to know the keyboard,
Yeah.
as if you can't see it. And working with our BMF musicians really brought me back to that moment. Like, yeah, we are trying to, have that world where the visual noise is
Yeah.
reduced.
Mm.
Yeah.
Are you going to be able to conduct with your eyes closed, Helen?
Not this time, because as the bridge or as the guide for the orchestra to support the musicians, I'm going to need to be able to see the soloist.
Wonderful. No, of course, I say that in jest, of course. And Khullip, I think you've been involved in judging this competition and just viewing the rounds. What has that like been for you? We're about to announce the winners, of course, but I want to know as a juror, like, or as a teacher, and seeing this, how do you find it?
Yes, so I've judged many competitions, but this is the first time I judged such a special case here. And at first, I wasn't quite sure how to judge properly, because I wanted to make sure I was doing a very fair job. But then, as soon as I heard the contestants, the participants, I forgot all that. I mean, it didn't matter. They were just as or even more artistic, technically capable, and just everything was there. So I put away my original thoughts, and I just judged like I would any other competition.
Amazing. And this competition is special in a way because it's not just one instrument. So you're judging in a way multiple disciplines. And what's that like been for you?
So yes, we had quite a number of various instrumentalists, and
yeah,
we
and a vocalist.
Vocalist, yes,
of course.
And we had amongst us, we had some different opinions, but I think we pretty much agreed.
Yes.
It was actually quite easy.
Yeah.
The decisions were quite easy to do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think aside from the technical aspect, you're also judging based on how moving their interpretation is, and so a lot of that is very similar to any other competition, right?
Yes. So what I also did was I actually closed my eyes during when I was at first I was looking, and then I decided not to look, actually, and I just tried to listen as much as possible more than view the players, and that helped me a lot, actually. Yeah.
You enter into their world for a little while.
That's right.
You experience the music through their ears, basically.
Yes.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing, Khullip. Helen, shall we announce the winners? What do you think?
Sure. I mean, we would love to, and I've been tasked to do this.
Yes.
And so I ask, my colleagues to jump in anytime. But usually when we do the prizes, we go from the third prize and up. So I will start that way, I suppose. We do have a tie for the third prize, and I'm going to look down on my paper so I don't mess this one up.
Of course.
We actually have two Canadians who share that prize. And one of them is a classical guitarist, and Ioana Gandrabor, I hope I'm saying that, Gandrabor, excuse me. And, she was born in Romania originally, and at the age of 5, she started playing the piano, and then at the age of 12, picked up the guitar. And then the whole family immigrated to Montreal at the age of 16. And so she's been studying there, and she went to the conservatory in Montreal to study classical guitar, and then went over to Europe, in Germany and France, to study further. And now, she's a seasoned teacher and a performer, and we could just really tell. And her artistry was just really wonderful, and she'll be playing the second movement of that beloved Rodrigo's Guitar Concerto. So We're really excited about that. And then sharing that same prize is Valerie Poisson from Canada as well. And she has actually had, she's visually impaired, and she has actually had many stage opportunities to sing different roles and main roles.
Wow.
Yet, I think singing an aria with an orchestra might be something that she hasn't done as much. And we're really excited to bring her over, and she'll be singing the O Quante Volte by Bellini. So congratulations to our third prize winners. And our second prize winner actually currently is a student, a doctorate student at Rutgers University at the Mason Gross School of the Arts at
Okay.
Rutgers University. And but he, attended LaGuardia High School for the arts, and he studied at Rutgers University, getting his master's. So he's, a tri-state a native, essentially, but originally from Chile. So
Wow.
Chilean pianist, and he was incredibly dynamic, and he's playing a very unusual and underperformed Lyapunov's second piano concerto. And so we're going to be really learning that piece all together. I've never conducted, and Khullip says he had never played it. And it's
Wow.
really an unusual piece. And yet pianist never rests. It's 20 minutes of nonstop. Right. It's a
Of course,
one large movement, kind of a rhapsodic, but wonderful piece. And then the first prize goes to a Korean-born violinist, Ji-sun Kim. She was the first blind musician to come across to America to study at the Nan's School of Music, doing her master's, and she finished, and she went back to Korea to teach, and she's part of that Hanbei trio. She is a dynamic violinist, and for Khullip to, say unanimously, all three of us to say, as a violinist, to pick her. And she played that, one of the most well-known and beloved Mendelssohn's Violin Concerto, first movement. So the stakes were really high for her to impress all of us, and she will impress you. And she has won many, many competitions throughout the world. And so she's not, although she's just in her 20s, I think she is a very matured and seasoned performer. And I think introducing her to the wider community of, my colleagues of orchestral conductors to say, consider her as your next soloist. We're really excited to introduce her in that light.
Well, congratulations to all the winners. This is really exciting. Let's put them on screen one more time and to just congratulate them. Valerie, Iona, Yurko, and Ji-sun. This is an amazing honor. Congratulations. So what does this mean now? So congratulations. What does this mean? So Mira, you probably know best, and you're the organizer and the mastermind behind all this. What does it mean now that you have these winners? When will they perform, and how is it going to work out?
Yeah. So from this April 7th, actually, we have concert series. Actually, so many. But if I just point two of them, which is the BMF Music Festival for the Blind.
Okay.
We're actually, BMF Festival is fostering collaboration among blind organizations, music groups, and musicians from around the world. And we'll be showcasing, this talented four, winners at that, concert. So the first one will be in USA, and the second one will be in Paris, actually, France.
Wow!
Yes.
So exciting.
Actually, we worked on this, BMF Music Festival at the main auditorium of UNESCO House in Paris for 9 months, actually. And finally, we received an invitation for the festival. So on October 15th, which is White Cane Day, is set aside to celebrate the achievements of blind people and the important symbol of blindness and tool of independence, the White Cane Day, as we celebrate their musical talent and accomplishments as musicians. We believe that music can serve as a tool of independence for them in society and empowering them as exceptional musicians. So we'll have this two-part music festival at Barrymore Film Center in Fort Lee, New Jersey on April 28th and October 15th at that UNESCO headquarters in Paris on October 15th.
That's a great achievement, not only for
great.
yours as an organization. Bravo!
We're very honored to be there.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great achievement for your organization, but what an opportunity for
Yeah.
these young musicians to be able to play. And I think one of it is to know that your music is serving some purpose. It's not just a performance, it's to inspire others, to empower other people who may be sighted, to show them what's possible. That, you know, it's not, you don't have to, you can be sighted and do amazing things as well, and not sighted and also do amazing things. And I think that's something that we all need to be reminded of, that whatever we're given as gifts, we can just use and maximize to the most we can. And that's sometimes enough, more than enough.
Yeah.
Wow. Beautiful. We're going to pivot to some music now, give you three a little bit of a break before wrapping up our show. So first of all, we have a little clip from the Love concert series for students at the Blind School. And we also have some different fundraising clips and the Hanbit Trio at the Merkin Hall performances. Before we launch into that, Mira, do you have anything to say about these little clips we're about to hear or the music we're about to listen to?
Just listen to it, then you will know, you know. I think, you know, there's no word to just explain. You can just watch it.
Wonderful. Okay.
Show it, please.
Please enjoy.
In 2019, BMF held the first concert in the Love concert series for blind schools at St. Joseph's to spark interest and curiosity for classical music in young students. Handmade thank you cards from the students of St. Joseph's School for the Blind was heartwarming and gave motivation to make our BMF concert series annual and extend its impact to the local community. Our second visit to St. Joseph's School for the Blind in 2020 became further motivation to carry out our mission after students told the performance that they had seen a movie through the music, while others were so touched they were in tears. For our next concert in the BMF concert series in 2020, we were fortunate to be sponsored by Steinway & Sons for a concert in Greenwich, Connecticut. This concert featured pianists Howard Abel, Mimi Melkonian, Mira Kim, and bass Hyung Jo. The concerts of Hanbit Trio J, a visually impaired piano trio from South Korea, were an outstanding success. The Darkness to Light concert, held on June 16th at Merkin Hall, was a truly unforgettable experience that left the audience in awe. The captivating performance moved many to tears, and the concert concluded with a thunderous standing ovation. It was an incredible experience that showcased the extraordinary talents of Hanbit Trio J and the New Jersey Youth Symphony, conducted by Helen Cha-Pyo.
여기다가 on the YouTube.
Wow, that was amazing. That's
Yeah.
really beautiful. That's beautiful. It's so it's really funny for me to see that they don't have any music stands,
They don't.
and everybody behind the orchestra, they all have their music in front of them.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's these people like, no, we're completely by memory. There's no stand, there's no music, no worrying about the page turn or anything. It's just seamless. It's
Right, the
beautiful.
freedom that they must have. Yeah.
Yeah. Just Khullip, have you played when you're playing with these musicians? How are you? Do you feel inspired? What are you feeling as you're kind of collaborating with them more and more and becoming more involved with BMF? What are your thoughts?
I mean, inspired is just not. It's a small word. I think I'm beyond inspired, obviously. And I look forward to meeting these competition winners for the April concert.
Yeah.
It's gonna be actually my first time leading an orchestra under the baton of Helen.
Ooh, nice.
Yes, with these people here,
Mhm.
and I'm excited. I don't know what to expect again, but I
Yeah.
am definitely looking forward to it, and I'm with the right people, and
Yeah.
so I trust them that it will all work out beautifully.
And sometimes not knowing what to expect has its magic about it. Then
That's
you really
right.
have
Yes,
something spontaneous or something miraculous happen because you don't expect it.
and I love that actually. I love that.
Wow. We're going to wrap up soon. Mira, do you have any final words to say to our audience or anything you want to talk about? Any, particular remarks, comments from your reflection on doing this so far? I hope you continue to do this kind of work or vocation for the, as long as you can or have the energy to.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts on how has it been so far and what you like to achieve in the future?
Yeah, actually, we want everybody to join to this great concert
Mhm.
on April 7th in Wayne and April 28th in Fort Lee, New Jersey.
Yeah.
And if you could just come and enjoy the concert, that's gonna be great for us. And also we're just trying to help this talented blind musicians because they're so talented. It's really our work go forward more to present them and showcase to different stages worldwide actually.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do our best, and this concert will be great, so please join us, and we need your support as well. So you
Wonderful.
can go to our website, bellamf.org, and / donate. So
I believe we
please
also have a
support us.
little. Yes, we also have a QR code for everybody to support. Wow, you did all the promoting for me. Thank you so much. So just to re-enunciate, they have some amazing concerts coming up. 7th of April at the Bethany Church in Wayne, New Jersey. And this is a little promotion for it, as well as there's a 28th of April, which is the first part of the BMF Music Festival series for the blind at the Barrymore Film Center in the US, along with the BMF Symphony Orchestra, where Khullip and Helen will be collaborating, and it'll be really, really fun. We also have an incredible, exciting 15th of October 2024 concert in Paris, France, at the UNESCO headquarters main auditorium at 7 p.m. with, again, the BMF Symphony Orchestra, with the winners, which we just announced. And this is so exciting. I can't imagine playing there and being so in such a great space. So I wish you all the best. Thank you so much. We're going to pivot just to the end of the show, where I will just talk about the rest of our upcoming season before saying bye to everybody again. So for everybody listening, thank you so much for your support. I want everybody to support the BMF Association. So make sure you donate and go to the website if you can. Just a little bit about our upcoming season. At Virtual Concert Hall, Sound Espressivo, Orchestra, and Progressive Musicians, we have such an incredible season left ahead. We have some upcoming deadlines. Please check our websites at Virtual Concert Halls, soundespressivocompetition.com, orchestra.com, as well as progressivemusicians.com for more information about all of this that we have. We are expanding our reach to more musicians all over the world. There's going to be a Cairo Opera Orchestra concert coming up. We also have an exciting concert in Czechia coming up, as well as Carnegie Hall auditions are coming up and within the next week. So there's a lot to be a part of. We also produce a Beethoven show every Thursday and Sunday. This is where Larry Rabchak, who is part of the Architects of Music, dissects each and every symphony by Beethoven, and Dr. Anna and I, hosts, will talk about the episode one by one, and just it's basically we're in awe of Larry and how he talks about these symphonies and dissects it and makes it so appealing for everybody. So I hope you enjoy and follow us more. I want to give a big hand to our collaborators, our partners, people who have been incredible from the beginning to support all these amazing ministries that we do. These collaborators, these partners of ours have been there. Some of them, like History of Music and iClassical Academy, they're from the beginning. And so we really, really want to thank you. These orchestras are just expanding. Next season, we're going to have like 3 or 4 pages of these sponsors. And of course, Chicharron Music is sponsoring a lot of album distribution and creation. This is just an amazing part of the music industry that you may not hear as much a part of, but they are active musicians who are trying to make a difference and empower people, just like the Bella Music Foundation. I want to make sure we thank our team, amazing team who produces this show, tech checks everybody, make sure everybody sounds as good as possible. We have hosts, script writers, producers, directors, social media managers, and everybody under the roof to make sure that Virtual Concert Halls supports everything that we do, especially the things that we say yes to. Now, before we end the show, I just want to make sure we thank our guests for today. We're going to bring back Helen, Mira, and Khullip. Thank you for joining. I've been so moved and touched by what you've talked about and your organization. Thank you for joining us. We have another show in May 11th, I believe. So I look forward to seeing you all there. And thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay,
you.
everybody, thank you for joining us. See you all next time. Bye for now.
Bye.